Coming from a different world and only being a politician for a short period of time, how am I doing? Am I doing okay? I'm president. Hey, I'm president. Can you believe it, right? I don't know.
Even he can't believe it. Obamacare? More like Obama cured. On Thursday, the House passed a bill that unravels the Affordable Care Act. Make no mistake about it. Make no mistake.
Make no mistake about it. Make no mistake. And I think most importantly, yes, premiums will be coming down. Yes, deductibles will be coming down. But very importantly, it's a great plan.
A great plan. Now, was it wrong to celebrate a bill that only passed in the House? Not if you're Schoolhouse Rock.
I think they might want to call up Schoolhouse Rock on YouTube.
And I was channeling Schoolhouse Rock today as well.
Maybe wait on the Rose Garden and maybe explain to people a little Schoolhouse Rock.
We got to get through this, as we know, from Schoolhouse Rock. They got to finish this part first.
Now, where I came from, Schoolhouse Rock was crack. Anyway, we get it, the bill's not a law, but why not proclaim victory now?
A big win for the Republicans on this day.
I don't think we can overstate what a big, short-term, immediate win this is for the president.
Look, this is a victory.
Because it is his first legislative victory. We absolutely have to say that. We have to hand it to him.
Now they have some victory to declare.
See, they didn't seem too thrilled about it. It was like they were making small talk with their ex's fiancée, the ex who dumped them. Even more, to the Dems, the whole thing was evil. Maroon 5 evil.
The majority of members of the House of Representatives knew this was a bad bill today.
What we did today in passing this legislation was absolutely inhumane.
This vote will be tattooed to them. As I also said, they will glow in the dark.
Wait, a tattoo that glows in the dark? That sounds awesome. I want one. Does this bill have one? Now, as this vote was tallied, reporters saw Democrats actually chanting. So now we know two things House Democrats are bad at: keeping the majority and chanting. They're like wasted monks. So does this bill help or hurt? I don't know. I haven't read it, but neither has anyone else. At least I'm being honest. Nobody reads bills because nobody reads anything. I just got a few pages accompanying my latest drug prescription, and it lists all the side effects. It's pretty important. Did I read it? No. And I had time. It explains my twitch. But that's why they make bills so damn large, so nobody reads it. Given the chance, the government would publish a 10,000-page report on how to fart. And it would still fail. If 1,000 years ago government was asked to invent the spoon, it would look like this. Government programs are the cafeteria mystery meat. You know it's there, but you pray you never have to use it. Look at Obamacare. Everyone knew it was bad at the start, but so what? Let's do it anyway. You know that prank when you freeze a fish and then you duct tape it to the underside of the driver's seat of your friend's car so it doesn't start stinking until days later and you're already gone? That's kind of what Obamacare was. It stinks, and Obama's already gone. Probably beating up elderly men on a boat. So my solution for health care, we got to simplify this crap. Insurance should cover the big stuff, and then we pay for the rest. After all, car insurance pays for the crash, not for the oil change. Which reminds me, why all the commercials for car insurance, but so few for health insurance? Because we're a captive audience. Competition is the only mechanism that forces everyone to cater to the customer, i.e. the patient. But I got to give Donald Trump credit. He went back to the drawing board after that initial failure. He really is a salesman trying to turn no into yes. He's that guy at the car dealership who just loves wearing you down until you buy the undercoating. And yesterday, we got the undercoating. Or better, who knows? If it's an improvement, that's progress. But we just don't know. Maybe Rachel knows? Let's check in.
The Silence of the Lambs, the guy who wants to kill us. If the press is Clarice and the president is Hannibal Lecter, who's Buffalo Bill?
I think she has other things on her mind. Yes! Clap away! All right. Let's welcome tonight's guest. She's so sharp, she's banned on all commercial flights. Rasmussen Report's political analyst, Amy Holmes. And he's oh, I've never seen that before. He's bright and funny like an electrocuted clown. Comedian Andrew Schulz. She owns 8 cats, and they all eat at the dinner table. Co-host of the Fox News Specialist brand new show, it's Katherine Timpf. Yeah! And Google Earth classifies him as a city. Actor, former bodyguard. Are you a MySpace model? And my massive sidekick, Tyrus. All right. MySpace. Let's go down the line here. I'll start with you, Amy. What do you make of this whole plan? Good, bad, indifferent? What are your thoughts?
Like you, I haven't read the bill, but
Yes.
you have to pass it before you know what's in it.
Right, that's true.
But I do think it was a win and a victory, as these journalists were saying on CNN and other networks. I think Republicans needed it after the budget bill, which even Rush Limbaugh said, why vote Republican if you get a Democratic budget?
True.
We had the Obamacare fiasco in March. So I like them going out into the Rose Garden, and of course I love Donald Trump, expressing surprise at his presidency.
Yeah, that makes it, he's so honest. It's like, I can't believe I'm president. It's like Fabio with the butter. That didn't make any sense, Andrew.
It made sense to me, Greg.
Well, that's because we're all on the same plane, you and me. We think the same thoughts.
That's true.
I know. How have you been?
I'm good. How are you,
I'm
man?
great.
You look good.
No, thanks. I've been trying to eat right.
Oh,
government programs. They're kind of like morbidly obese men that stick to the bed. You can't get them out unless you use a crane.
Yes.
Are you fat shaming?
No, I'm fat. What do you make of this?
What do I make of the bill?
Yes.
I disagree with you on what health care should cover.
Okay.
I think it should cover the little stuff, and we pay for the big.
That doesn't make any sense.
How would we afford to do that, though?
Excuse me. You didn't ask me to do math. What I'm saying is I'm going to use the little stuff more. Like, I have an emotional security when I go to a place like Sweden and I know that the girls are on birth control.
Right. Okay.
So I want to bring that to Brooklyn.
Right. Okay.
You see what I'm saying? I don't care about like the crazy car crash or whatever like that might or might not happen.
Yes.
But birth control is a monthly thing.
Right.
And I make mistakes.
Oh, you do? Okay. But that
Birth control is a daily thing.
Birth control is a daily thing, Greg. Okay?
Yes.
That was one of my mistakes I was making.
Yes, but the thing is, it costs you $6 maybe a day. A car accident's going to cost you millions.
Yeah, I think
If, yes.
I know I'm
You're
gonna
the
make a
problem.
mistake.
You are the problem. You live on the word if.
Yes, I live on if and NuvaRing. That's monthly. I think that one's monthly.
By the way, I think they're an advertiser, so I applaud you for your choices.
Of course.
All right, Kat, what do you think of my solutions? Not his, but my solutions. Cover the stuff that's big. It's because catastrophic health insurance only costs a couple $100, right?
That's what insurance is supposed to be. It's supposed to be in the event of something big. It's not supposed to be. There's diet counseling that's covered under this. I don't the contraceptive mandate. I think birth control should be sold over the counter, the way that Plan B is, personally.
You can't get it over the counter?
No, you can't.
Well, how do you get it?
It's just called a condom, but get.
But from the insurance companies, getting them involved inflates prices. So this plan just gets insurance companies more involved.
Right.
I wouldn't be surprised if it inflates prices, and then that's going to be a bummer.
Yeah.
So I know everyone's celebrating, but for some reason, I just am not that excited.
Well, you know what? That's you and not Tyrus. Tyrus, are you excited?
No, but here's the thing. I do like what you did there with the whole, little things, big things, and you talked about car insurance.
Yeah.
I think our health care should be like car insurance. I should be able to look, maybe I just want, in case something big happens, I just have that insurance. Or maybe I want to cover a couple little things, or go through my little list and pick what I want. Do I want full coverage, partial coverage, or oops coverage, or whatever I'm saying? You know what I mean?
Coverage.
I'll pick,
That's Andrew's.
I do have oops.
I got a new girlfriend and she's creepy and I'm scared to sleep at night coverage. You know what I'm saying? Like there's little things you can pay for.
We're all different.
You can also pay for a lock on your door.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, but I mean, we all are different humans. Can't be a one size fits all in many different aspects of this conversation.
Yeah.
Speaking of, I want to welcome a new sponsor to the show. Ever wish you could blame your problems on other people? Well, wait no longer. Tonight's sponsor has a cure.
Do you take full responsibility for your own failures? Admit your mistakes when you're wrong. Why suffer in silence? Now you can make your failure someone else's fault with Blame It All.
I was on the way to winning until the combination of Jim Comey's letter on October 28th and Russian WikiLeaks.
Blame It All works with the brain's receptors to help you replace your sense of responsibility with wild accusations. Don't live with this.
Oh, of course. I take absolute personal responsibility.
Just blame it all on the FBI and Vladimir Putin.
He certainly interfered in our election, and it was clear he interfered to hurt me and to help my opponent.
Its time-released action helps you cope with public failure and absolve you of fault.
The election meant on October 27th, I'd be your president.
Keep telling yourself that with Blame It All. Side effects may include disinterest in campaigning, interviews, having a clear vision to lead the nation, and uncontrollable cackling.
Nicely done. All right. Okay. We got a lot coming up, including FBI Director Comey grilled by Congress again. And where there's smoke, there's always wiener. Like the scent of burnt popcorn in the office microwave, Hillary Clinton still lingers. And along with her rides Anthony Weiner, the pest who wouldn't leave. This week, FBI Director James Comey defended his decision before a Senate panel to reopen the Clinton email probe just days before the election last year. The takeaway, he isn't sorry. It was a tough choice, but he'd do it again. He also confirmed that Clinton aide Huma Abedin forwarded classified emails to her husband, Anthony Weiner, a.k.a. Bulge. And for what reason were they sent to him? To do something totally disgusting with them.
Was there classified information on former Congressman Weiner's computer?
Yes.
Who sent it to him?
His then spouse, Huma Abedin, appears to have had a regular practice of forwarding emails to him, for him, I think, to print out for her, so she could then deliver them to the Secretary of State.
Like I said, gross. Who prints out emails? Anyway, why wasn't Abedin charged?
Why did you conclude neither of them committed a crime?
Because with respect to Ms. Abedin in particular, we didn't have any indication that she had a sense that what she was doing was in violation of the law. Couldn't prove any sort of criminal intent.
In other words, she's off the hook because she's stupid. I use the same excuse at many Arby's bathrooms. Still, that wasn't even the most intriguing part of the Comey testimony. That was later with the junior senator from New Kansas once again discovering an incredible piece of information.
Director Comey, how excited are you to be talking to me today?
Yeah, great question, Senator. Thank you.
I know it was a great question. That's why I asked it.
It is the honor of my life.
Bless your heart, James. The pleasure is all mine, really. All right, but let's get down to business. Is it true the FBI recently discovered that a government scientist had built a time machine out of a DeLorean powered by uranium stolen from the Libyans?
In October of 2015, we confirmed it existed and then said not another word.
But hypothetically, couldn't you use said DeLorean to travel back in time, bet on sports, and become ridiculously wealthy?
It can be done and has been done in the past.
So you already did it? Did you travel back to last year's World Series and put some money on the Cubbies?
Yes and yes.
Wow. Okay, I'm fine with making money, but here's the problem. What if you dropped something while you were there? Something that proved you were from the future?
Lordy, that would be really bad.
That's what I'm saying. We're talking about a chain reaction that could destroy the entire universe.
It makes me mildly nauseous.
Me too. So knowing that, would you still use the DeLorean to travel back to last October?
Honestly, it wouldn't change the decision. Everybody who disagrees with me has to come back to October 28th with me.
It was a pretty dope World Series, but still.
Tell me what you would do.
Not rob the poor people of Cleveland. That's what I do. That's savage, James.
Even in hindsight, and this has been one of the world's most painful experiences, I would make the same decision.
A man who sticks to his guns. I can respect that. All right, last question. If you did take another trip back in time, say to maybe see the series premiere of ALF, can I come with you?
I don't know whether I would say it publicly, but I'd find some way to let you know.
Dope. Thanks, bud.
Well done. Well done. Don't do any of that stuff on that specialist show. That's trademark Gutfeld work. All right. Andrew, this story does not go away.
No.
It keeps going, and that means as long as that story's here, so is Hillary and so is Anthony Weiner.
Yes.
Thoughts?
Yeah, well, first of all, I want to know, like, I thought as a Democrat, like, we're supposed to care about the environment. Mm-hmm. So why aren't we upset that Anthony Weiner is printing out a rainforest every night?
That's true.
Like, shouldn't that be a big deal?
That is a big deal.
And it sounds fishy, right? Doesn't it sound like something you tell your girlfriend when you're cheating on her? She's like, who are you texting this girl? And it's like, oh, no, John used my phone to text her, and then she sent nudes to John.
No,
That's what it was. It had nothing to do with me. It's just a little fishy, yes.
Did Hillary not have a printer? Would she have a little satchel of email papers and she's traveling over to Hillary's house? I don't know.
Very weird. Very weird.
And in what universe does it make sense to be sending sensitive classified emails to a guy who sends out penis pics?
Exactly.
Like, I don't get it.
Exactly.
He doesn't
Hold on. It was what he does in his private time when he clocked out. When he was business. He was about the emails and fixing the neighborhoods. When he clocked out, he was about,
Actually, he sent them from the congressional gym. Do you remember? He was in front of the mirror and did all that.
During his time, I'm going to take 15. I'll be right back. Boom. Like, listen, I don't care about the pics or whatever. If the letter of the law says she broke the law, I just feel like that we have this double standard, it seems like, when it has to do with certain laws and stuff like that. Because when I was growing up, one of my homies or somebody broke the law, no one ever says, well, you didn't have criminal intent.
Yeah, they didn't say you were stupid.
They didn't even ask me.
Yeah.
It was like, just get on the ground,
Does
punk.
she
Like,
not
but
know
sir.
how to work a printer? None of this makes sense to me. I feel like printing is a thing that you can do for yourself.
Yeah, you can do it for yourself and for others. A lot of people do a lot. They print their own greeting cards.
My parents print their emails out.
Oh, yeah?
They do. I will. But my parents also don't know how to do double click. And if you don't know how to do double click, I don't know if you could be president. I feel like there's some correlation between your ability right there.
Yeah. But didn't you think it was also weird that she's still speaking to her husband? I'm like, why are you communicating with
This
this
is amazing
man?
that they haven't divorced.
Love can be powerful.
I think this was in the past. This was before the documentary dropped, which, by the way, was
fabulous.
Fast forward everything to the part where you see her hit the face when it comes out that he texts her again.
Yeah.
And she goes. He's like, what's up? You have to run through McDonald's?
Andrew, you were about to...
I'm just saying, if it was small, he wouldn't be sharing it. But when it's small, you don't send pictures of your penis to girls. You send pictures of you listening. Like, that's how you turn them on, right? Like,
that's interesting.
Yeah, this conversation went way off the rails.
Yeah. Let me just shift away from that arena. I just hope, Hillary's going away, Bill's going away. They better not unload Chelsea on us, okay? She's even more entitled She's more entitled than her mother without her dad's unbuckled charisma. She makes Amy Carter look like Maggie Thatcher. So I think I don't.
I'm calling you on this one.
What?
So nepotism's cool for one side, but not the other. We live in a time. And nepotism means when you let your family get work they shouldn't have. So it's cool for one side, not the other. We live in a time where nepotism, we're going to be seeing a lot of it, and as voters, we shouldn't put up with it.
Look,
Yeah, but I don't want to see more Chelsea Clinton. Yeah. I really don't. But they're going to force her, right? Hillary lost. Yeah. Now Chelsea has to be the president, or she's going to be grounded.
Yeah, they got to. They got to have that Clinton name go on.
They do.
Yes, they do. All right, we got to move on. Despite Tyrus pointing out my hypocrisy, he'll still be around for the C block. Still to come, Stephen Colbert said something shocking about Donald Trump. Yes, believe it or not, this is still a story. All right. Last Monday, Stephen Colbert tore into Donald Trump like a giant orange burrito. Now, before I roll the tape, I must warn you that it's very lewd, so turn it up so everyone can hear it.
You attract more skinheads than free Rogaine. You have more people marching against you than cancer. You talk like a sign language gorilla who got hit in the head. In fact, the only thing your mouth is good for is being Vladimir Putin's holster.
Now, of course, we had to bleep it, but you get the joke. He said Trump was having sex with Putin. Was it offensive? I don't know. I've done worse, often for money, in a hotel room, dressed up as Peter Pan. Predictable outrage ensued with demands that Colbert be fired. 2 days later, he responded.
If you saw my monologue on Monday, you know that I was a little upset with Donald Trump for insulting a friend of mine. So, at the end of that monologue, I had a few choice insults for the president in return. I don't regret that. So while I would do it again, I would change a few words that were cruder than they needed to be.
So he didn't regret the joke, only the language. Again, I don't care. It's jokes, words. If you don't like it, don't listen. But I hope one day those other guys might say the same thing for me. See, Colbert is afforded something I will never have: liberal joke protection. If your heart's in the right place and mine is always in the wrong, then you can say what you want as long as your joke matches the assumptions of your peers. I will never demand an apology, but one will always be demanded from me. It's painfully obvious, but if I made the same joke about President Obama, I'd be frog-marched into the Atlantic with anvils around my neck. But that's okay. I'll defend those who may never defend me, because I'm a nice guy, and they're all right. Andrew, have you ever been in a situation like this before? Does this infuriate you?
It doesn't. It's just like everybody's a sissy. I accept it. It's fine. I'm cool with it. But this is all the time on Twitter. I get into these things.
Yes, I've seen it with you.
Exactly. Yeah. So it happens. I really don't care what he said. I'm only offended by things that aren't funny. And but I respect the attempt. Like a lot of times I look at comedians as like firemen. Mm-hmm. It's not your job to save them. It's your job to try.
Yes.
So it's not our job to, you know what I mean? Like when the firemen don't save the people in the burning building, you don't go, you're fired. You know what I mean? You jerks, you know?
I love how you're comparing comedians to firemen.
Listen, I mean,
you're the real hero.
We are. Listen, I do comedy every day. They're mostly just spinning around the pole, you know. So the point I'm trying to say, there it is, funny comedy things. Yeah. So I am with going out there. I'm with trying the joke. Did I think that what his rant was that funny? No, but go for it. I think, you know, holstering is a new term.
Yeah.
That I'll use in my private life. You know, that sounds like a lot of fun, and I've agreed not to say anything about penises in this segment.
That's good. Thank you for that.
So I'm not going to say anything about it.
Excellent. Sorry. You tell a comedian. This is a rule. This is a rule. You tell a comedian not to say something, and it turns a switch on their brain that says, now I have to. Now I have to. And if I went home and I didn't, then I would have done something wrong.
Right. What, can we say a doodle-doo holster?
Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
But here's the thing.
Yes.
Stephen Colbert, he missed the point, which is it wasn't that it was crude, it was that it was homophobic. He was going through a list of insults, and the thing that he reached for, that he thought would be the real grand slam, was to make this comment. And remember what we were just listening to. He was comparing being gay to having cancer.
Yeah.
Or being
Why
a
was it
skinhead.
homophobic?
No, he wasn't really.
I don't think it was homophobic.
I think that's
it was
a
meant
big
as an
stretch to say he
insult.
was comparing being gay to having cancer.
It was in the list of insults, and that
No,
was
he's
the
saying that
punctuation
holstering a foreign leader is bad,
Right.
which I think we can all agree. You shouldn't be
holster a foreign leader. Can't trust him.
Yeah.
Also, the Nazi
And,
Rogaine thing, like Nazis want to be bald. They don't use Rogaine. That made no sense.
Yes, and as somebody
We're forgetting gorillas are people too. I'm often compared to them whenever I lift or walk around the city. And for him to call them dumb and say can't sign language is an outrage, okay? And the last great gorilla got shot with another person, and not on my watch, okay? Sorry, I'm getting upset. Ties too tight. I want to
R.I.P. Harambe.
Leave gorillas alone.
No, your point about how if it was a Democrat, it'd be different. It was a Democratic president. I don't think it's so much that Donald Trump is a Republican, and that's why he felt it was okay to say it. I think it's more because Donald Trump is Donald Trump.
Right, yeah.
He's made it very clear that he's a different kind of dude.
Yeah.
And the rules don't really apply as much
No,
to
but
him.
wait a minute. David Schuster, when he was over at MSNBC, he made some remark that the Clintons were pimping out Chelsea.
Oh,
remember
I remember that.
And you know, pimp is he did.
But that wasn't a comedian telling a joke.
Right.
That was
but pimp is a word you can actually use on television, and he got fired for it. So there is a double standard. And
I think there is.
Absolutely.
And the other thing too is, you know, you always to Andrew, if you could answer this before we move on, without using the P word.
I won't.
People always talk about like, oh, there are no edgy right-wing comics, but there's, you know, but it's because edgy, as defined in the world of comedy, is something that Colbert would do, but if anybody on the right did it, they would be crucified, I would imagine.
Yeah, I mean, Mike Malice made a great point about this. He says what the left does, and I'm saying this as a liberal, is what we do is when we don't like somebody, to avoid a debate, we make them radioactive.
Right, yeah.
You're a sexist, you're a homophobe, you're an Islamophobe. Now I don't even have to engage with your ideas because you're radioactive. Get away from me.
When are you going to make me radioactive?
Right after a holstering.
Okay. I walked into that one. Oh, yeah. I'm going to get a call on Monday. But you know what? It's worth it because so far it's been a great show. Yeah. Up next, Stephen Hawking says we need another Earth. I agree. It could be for storing our bikes and winter clothes. Will a place in space save the human race? Is it time for a vacation Earth? A second one we can visit on weekends? According to super scientist Stephen Hawking, humanity needs to colonize another planet within 100 years because we only have 1,000 years left before extinction. He says our demise could come from any number of things like nuclear war, artificial intelligence, true, or Adam Levine's voice. Hawking's theory is part of an upcoming documentary called Expedition New Earth, which will explore the latest rocket technology that could help humans set up shop on Mars. I believe we have tape of 2 astronauts' latest test launch.
There we go. Here we go. Hey, can you give me like a countdown? You guys want a countdown before you go?
R.I.P. So, Andrew, second Earth, it's like having a vacation home. Only the rich people are going to afford it. Like, the rest of us are going to be stuck here in old Earth. Our property values are going to drop.
That's true.
Yeah.
As a homeowner, a recent homeowner.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it, man. I'll tell you, owning a home is going to turn me into a Republican.
I know, yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, relax. Relax. I'm not on the red side just yet. Okay. But what were we talking about? I forgot.
We're talking about in Second Earth.
Oh yeah, Second Earth. Here's the thing, which I hate about this whole we're going to another planet stuff. If you've ever flown from like New York to Los Angeles and looked out the window and down, we got room.
Yeah, we do. We do it. It's true.
Tons of room.
Yes.
Okay, we don't need to colonize Mars. Colonize Montana. There's plenty of room in Montana, Wyoming, move into the Bronx. Then we can worry about Mars.
But here's the reason why that might not be the issue, Kat, because we've talked about it. What he's really escaping is the rise of artificial intelligence, which will dominate and enslave and kill us. Non-conscious, goal-oriented thinking will pave over this planet, turn into a small cement ball. We must leave. The only issue is the moment we have knowledge of leaving, so will artificial intelligence, and they'll just follow us.
They'll beat us there, Greg.
They'll beat us there.
Because they'll be faster.
They are, because they are faster.
Yeah, absolutely.
You don't care.
He says that we... You're right, I kind of don't, because I don't think that we are actually going to colonize another planet within the next 100 years, because we have a lot of things here that we can't seem to get together as it is.
Yeah, like what?
Don't move on to the one planet until you're really got all the things worked out on the first planet.
I disagree. Haven't you ever had, like, a college apartment that you just trashed and just moved to a better place?
Oh, my apartment's like that now, Greg.
Yeah, I could imagine.
But how do you go about colonizing another planet?
It's easy. Our explorers did it.
Okay.
Tyrus, you look like your head's going to explode. Or is that normal?
You phoned it in again. You told me to tell you when you did that. First of all, love to go to Mars. Sounds fun, but kind of need two things it doesn't have: air and water. Kind of a big deal.
We said a second Earth.
You bring it with you and you.
Oh yeah, just with two little bags.
Yeah,
no, I want around the all the time. And the second thing, isn't it amazing that he came out with this? We got to leave the Earth in 100 years. And watched my documentary that's coming out. It's so hard when somebody says something where it's scientific. You want to be like, wow, damn, it's because I got to go see his damn documentary. And then buy his book. And then you'll start seeing a bunch of group of American people, it's always us, do it first, start building little rocket ship setups and trying to make, trash cans and the space masks. And, and they'll have a reality TV show and spending all this kind of money. And the rich people aren't going anywhere.
No.
They will send the dumbasses up. They're willing to get on that plane and go there.
I don't know, Amy. It's the rich people. It's the rich people who always go to Burning Man and Coachella and that horrible rock concert.
Firefest.
But they all have air.
Yeah, and who want to freeze themselves.
Yes.
It's like the rich people who want to cryo-freeze themselves.
I want to do that. That's the only reason why I work.
You can step outside here and cryo freeze right now. You literally could just step outside and cryo freeze.
But I actually thought it was really irresponsible of Stephen Hawking to suggest that we colonize Mars because, as we know, we bring like new microbes to that planet that could end up killing everything on the planet.
What happened with
like
the
with
Pilgrims.
the blankets with the Indians.
Yes, the blankets and the Indians.
How do we know that Stephen Hawking isn't artificial intelligence?
Well, you never know. You know what?
true.
He
He's
could be ahead of everything.
talk.
While we were doing this topic, I was just thinking to myself, I wonder what Rachel Maddow was thinking.
SIB Energo Group. SIB Energo Group. I've been practicing all day. It's still a mouthful. SIB Energo Group. SIB Energo Group. It's hard. I've been practicing all day. It's still hard. SIB Energo Group. SIB Energo Group. Siberian Energy Group.
Well.
Was that actually on TV?
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Excellent question. Don't go anywhere. Up next, a story that involves life, death, baseball, and toilets. You won't see that on Special Report. Stick around. That was a great He's leaving the dead in every head. I speak of Thomas McDonald, who is pouring his buddy's ashes down toilets at baseball parks across the country. McDonald got the idea, you guessed it, while in the bathroom after a ball game, saying, I was like, I know what to do, because he was the best plumber you ever saw. He was a master. So far, the ashes have been flushed in Chicago, Pittsburgh, Cincinnati, Detroit, Baltimore, and others. Although, it's not the weirdest thing I've seen done in a baseball game. That was pretty weird. All right, Amy, is this how you'd like to go?
You know, I don't know if I would be flattered if my best friend says, I want to flush you down toilets.
Yes.
Like, it's kind of an odd tribute, but the guy's dead, so he doesn't know. So.
Yeah, it's an angry ex kind of thing.
Yeah.
You're actually, Tyrus, you're going, and you're going.
Okay, first of all, that is the ultimate best friend thing right there. His boy was a plumber. They loved baseball.
Yeah.
He made sure he went to every park. Bros, salute that. Sensitive people won't get that. Me, I'm very simple. I'm like Big Lebowski. Just put me in a can of coffee, dump me in some water. Hopefully, Ocean, if they're cool, they'll take me there. But very simple. And what his buddy's doing, he's paying tribute to him. And you will only get it if you're in that circle of friends. So you know what? You can make fun of that. You can tease that, but I respect that, and that's a really, really good best friend. That's next level best friend. And he clearly didn't have a wife or a mother around to stop it, so his best friend took care of him. Because his mom's ain't having it, and his wife was definitely not having it.
You'd be like a milk jug of ashes.
Well, you'd be big ashes, and you'd be like a little thimble.
I'm not being cremated, but we'll get to that.
Yeah,
Kat?
sure. I want to be stuffed by a taxidermist and then put me on rollerblades and wheel me past the bedroom window of everyone I've ever dated.
That's actually cheaper than my coffee thing, because it's like 2 bowls.
Like a wave motion like this. That'd be so dope.
That is a strange request.
Oh, it's my official request. Everyone who's listening, got to make it happen, or I will haunt you.
You already do. Andrew, what do you make of this? Family of the Dead guy supports this. It's beautiful, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Do you really love plumbing that much? Like, that's just my concern, right? It's like maybe he just did the job, but he didn't love plumbing, and now you're pouring him down the tubes, thinking like, oh, this is where he wanted to be. Like, he's not Mario. Like if you were Mario or Luigi, then you pour him down the drain because that's where they hang out. You know? But he might have just
leads
like
to the ocean. That's the idea. All water leads to the ocean.
That water leads to the reservoir.
Yeah, but it gets mixed in with all this other stuff. It's like, what happens if he's reincarnated and he's a mixture of human excrement?
Don't ruin Nemo for the kids.
He's like a
water
mutant.
leads to the ocean, Greg. Say it.
Greg, what if? Say it.
Say it.
All water leads to the ocean. This almost goes back to the previous block. I don't want to be cremated because if we figure out the Silicon Valley trillionaires are going to figure out how to live forever. They're going to take your brain and put it in a nutrient vat. That's how it's going to happen. Or you're going to be downloaded onto an internal program. They're going to figure it out. What if you've been cremated and they can't find your DNA? I want my head in a safety deposit box.
Okay.
And I want one of you to take control of this.
I got it, Greg.
Thanks.
Yeah, it's going to be like that and the puzzles I started with the kids. I'm not going to get it done.
No, you're going to just leave the head in the closet, and what's that smell? Because you didn't freeze it. You put it in like a portable picnic cooler. And you said you poured some ice on top of it, like it was freaking beer.
You really want to live forever, Greg?
Here's what I believe. Morally, if they do find out how to live longer, they owe it to everybody who's died to wake them all up. It's true. Don't you agree?
Why?
Because it's unfair. Imagine if you die, right? Okay, let's say you die in 2040, 2050, but then 2200, they figure it out. That's not, all of us are dead. That's not fair.
So do you think that when people die, they're just sleeping?
No, I'm just saying, you're going to do it to a woolly mammoth.
Okay, well, but here's the DNA thing, because I have actually thought about this.
What?
That if you get the DNA and you make a clone, it's not going to be you.
That's true. It's not going to be you.
It's going to be your twin.
Yeah, it's true, and it might be. Yeah, you won't have the same. You're saying you won't have the same consciousness.
Exactly, you won't have the memories.
True. That is true. That's also
consciousness. That might be the thing that works.
Yeah, that's
though.
the way to go.
Yeah.
Just die. Move on. Maybe come back as a caterpillar. Who knows?
No, I hate that.
I would hope that.
Caterpillar?
Then
you turn into a butterfly.
Girl all day.
All right.
Yeah, that would be great.
Final thoughts next. If you leave now, you won't see us turn the show into a bluegrass hootenanny. I should have read that.
If you'll be in New York City and would like free tickets to be part of our studio audience, email gregtix@foxnews.com.
I'll see you Monday on the 5 at our new time, 9 p.m. Eastern. We're running out of time, so.
What you've wanted to say all show, but haven't had the chance to say, so here's your chance to say it. Right now.
Amy?
I want to say that I actually really like Maroon 5.
Oh. They're the worst band that ever walked the planet. Followed closely by the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Andrew?
I'm on tour right now doing stand-up, so you can check out tickets for that at theandrewschulz.com. And I'll be in Sacramento Saturday and San Francisco Sunday. And then my friend who I do a podcast with, The Brilliant Idiots, just released his first book. It's a New York Times bestseller. It's called Black Privilege by Charlemagne the God, so go check that out.
Excellent.
Buy that book. Yeah. So he's very
I will
excited
take
about
a
that.
read. Tyrus?
I actually like Maroon 5 too, Greg.
No man likes
Can I get a
it.
close-up real quick? I got it in.
Yeah, no man likes Maroon 5. Not
This
even,
man does, and
Not
I'm
even
swole.
the man in Maroon 5. Kat?
So I was wearing Christmas socks today, and somebody said, why? And that's because my Auntie Barbara and Uncle Frank send me socks for every holiday my whole life. I don't need to buy my own socks. I know they're holiday socks, but you should live every day like it's a holiday. Thanks, Auntie Barbara and Uncle Frank.
Yes. Thanks to Amy Holmes, Andrew Schulz, Katherine, Tyrus, our studio audience. I'm Greg Gutfeld. I love you, America.